Okay, welcome back. Gonna be doing Bible games by Wisdom Tree, an unlicensed game. We're just gonna do the Noah's Ark game. And really this is more just about messing around and talking about the game and a couple of other things than it is about playing the game. So, I know everyone's kind of thinking that this is an easy game to dunk on. A lot of YouTubers and the internet in general have dunked on this game. First off, I had a friend who actually owned this game, part of his original NES collection. I suppose I'll talk a little bit more about that. Oh, I think you have to get the banana to attract the monkey. Okay, so what can I say about Bible games? This is a game that, I'm sure everyone's seen. The AVGN. And yes, obviously, you can make the case that this wasn't a great game, but, it's so much easier to talk about how it's not a great game than to talk about what works for this game. I think this game is, when you stop and think about it, it's actually an underrated game. For an unlicensed game, you would think that what is this? A Bible quote? Alright, okay. But you would think that, that I'd be making fun of this game or saying terrible things about it. But truthfully, for an unlicensed game, you'd also think it'd be expensive and rare. And that's not the case with Bible Adventures. This is, if you want a copy of Bible Adventures, it's not a difficult game to get your hands on. I think, and one of the reasons is because it's sold. This game sold extremely well. At least 1 million copies, maybe more. I don't have an exact number on me right now, but I've heard that it's sold well over 1 million copies. There's two variants. There's the black cartridge and the baby blue cartridge. My friend, as a kid, he had the baby blue cartridge. So that's the one I was more familiar with. A copy of Bible Adventures, only like 30 bucks or so. Not at all difficult or expensive for an unlicensed game. So if you are interested in collecting original NES hardware, I highly recommend you get a hold of Bible Adventures for the NES. If you're not picky, get the black cartridge. I think you can get it for like maybe 20, 25, 30 max. I think just a couple years ago I got this baby blue cartridge for maybe like 25 bucks. And it is interesting to own. And then of course there's it's a Super Mario Brothers 2 ripoff. I have to be honest with you. Okay, so when you stop and think about it, the developers, which was a small team to begin with, they had very limited resources, obviously, and they were tasked with... Oops. They were tasked with doing a game, and, Bible themed. And this is what they came up with. They decided, okay, we're gonna use basically similar graphics, similar game mechanics as something that's already popular, Super Mario Brothers 2 USA. And there's no point in reiterating Doki Doki Panic or any of that, because obviously in the early 90s, no one in the United States was playing the Lost Levels or Doki Doki Panic. They were playing Super Mario USA, Super Mario Brothers 2 USA. I think the rest of the animals are going to be a little more difficult to lure. Making it, basing the graphics and the mechanics off Super Mario Brothers 2 was actually a genius move, because it's intuitive. You know, if you got Bible Adventures, from the minute you picked it up, you know, you knew you knew how to play and what to do, and the control was intuitive. You know, granted it's not perfect, but it's good enough. There's a few flaws here and there. Controls are just a little bit more slippery, not quite as tight as Super Mario 2 USA. Whoa. I guess I'm not going to drop the snake when I jump. That's nice. When you stop and think about it, you know, they base it off Super Mario Brothers 2 USA graphics and control. It's sold extremely well. Yeah, this was actually something of a hit. And then, of course, when you consider the limitations, you know, they were making an unlicensed game. There was probably only a few of them left, or a few of them working at the okay, I got the banana. But there's probably only a few of them working on the game. You know, the fact that just a few people were able to come up with this, and that it was successful. I mean, by every reasonable measure, this is a successful game. Okay, there's another monkey around somewhere I'll have to find. There he is. Okay, we still need pigs, a horse, and a snake. Do pigs like bananas? Nope. Gonna have to find some other way to attract the pig. Is it the hay? Or maybe the hay is for the horse. Ah, nope, the hay is for the pig. Get both pigs? Nope, just one. Okay, so back in, I want to say 1990, late 1991, or maybe early 1992, one of my friends whom I used to see fairly often, he had Bible Adventures, and I never asked him where from whom he got it, and I really should have. One of the big questions I have about this game is I have, I do remember a little while ago I was doing a little bit of research, just trying to figure out. Oh, now I got the pig. Just trying to figure out the development backstory. Maybe a modern gaming historian or whatever has a whole thing on it. But I do recall reading that one of the reasons, because I was curious how this game sold so well. And I do recall, first off, I think it was sold at a lower price. A typical NES game in 1990, probably retailed. I think it retailed for about 40, 45, $50, somewhere in that range. I think Bible Adventures may have retailed cheaper. Maybe 25, 30. It's something I don't know quite off the top of my head, but the other part was that it was sold in Christian bookstores, or maybe some major book chain. I'm not sure which one, but I can understand probably what happened was, being that it was cheaper, uh, if you were a young boy back in 1990, and you had relatives, they wanted to get you a game, but they weren't sure what you liked, and they, maybe saw this for, $25, $30. They figured, oh, okay, we'll get him a video game, that's based on the Bible. It's cheaper. His parents won't object to it. For many, it might have seemed like a win-win. I do wish I knew what the bookstore that this retailed at was. I couldn't find any information about where these actually were able to be purchased. It seems like kind of a silly question, I know, but it's just a curiosity. I'm just trying to get a little bit more information about Bible Adventures for my own silly curiosity. All right, so I think we're through level 1. 2 or 3 levels of this. And it's not difficult. I heard this has a really funny ending, by the way. All right, so that's level 1. Oh yeah, this part I do remember is unskippable. But yeah, I didn't want to, quote unquote, take the piss out of this game. I don't feel like there's a point to it really, because it's been done to death so many times. Everyone's made fun of it. There's plenty of videos on YouTube or articles on the internet, punching down on Bible Adventures. It's actually more fun to talk about what works about this game. And surprisingly, quite a lot of it works. There's a lot to kind of, tip your cap to. Alright, so it's going to be a bit more challenging this time. Here we actually have to... Yep, I think we have to use the nut to knock out some animals. Oops. let's pick up the turtle too, or whatever that is. And I do recall my my friend. His name was Andrew. I do recall we did pop this in once in a while and have a laugh at it for what it was. And there's nothing wrong with this. It's playable. It's fine. It's not Mega Man, obviously, or rather Mega Man 6, my personal favorite of the series. It's no Castlevania 3, but it works perfectly fine for a pop in and play. All right, so we got pandas, raccoons, blue jays, eagles, and toucans. All right, so we do have to get those eagles. Those are going to be... Oh. Oh, did I lose the nut? Should probably take out the eagles first. Maybe get the Bible quote for some as the power up. Alright, let's go. Get us an eagle. Alright, so that's not how you get the eagle. Oops. Maybe we'll have to find that hay to get the eagle. Whatever it is, some kind of bait. Not sure what this is. Will it attract the eagle? Okay, so another thing I wanted to chat about is, it's awfully funny what YouTube recommends to you and what the algorithm thinks you want to see. Lately, I've been getting something really interesting. Oops, threw it away. Something really interesting from the algorithm. I've been getting, I suppose it's a fellow in England who, he's been, I guess he goes to somewhere in London, I suppose, and fairly regularly, I guess he goes to where the palace is, where the royal guard stands watch. And there's something of a popular tourist attraction, the royal guard. And there's a few of them. One's called Booska in the Park. And he films the royal guard while they stand watch, and also happens to catch a lot of the tourist interactions. And of course, naturally, his most popular videos are the ones where tourists are being rude and disrespectful to the guards. And okay, there we go. We got a panda. And the guards who have very strict protocol about what they can and can't do. Every once in a while, when someone's being incredibly disrespectful, they will snap to and rebuke them. But we all know the Royal Guard is, they're not supposed to react. They're supposed to stand their watch diligently. And some of them are on mounted horseback. That's the one that drives me the most wild. And obviously, like 99%, maybe a bit fewer, uh, are polite and respectful, and they show the proper respect for the honor guard. It's all, but Busca in the Park, and I'm sure the other YouTube channels that have the Royal Guard, they no, that's not gonna work either. Their more popular videos are the ones where they do rebuke the disrespectful tourists. It's just astonishing me that persons don't show proper respect for the honor guard. It's a very elite fraternity. Very few men get the honor and the privilege of being able to serve in that capacity. Hundreds of years of centuries of rich heritage and tradition and history goes into that post. And here you have, and I get it, they are essentially kind of a tourist attraction, but man, would it kill? Do people just not? Can people just not appreciate it for what it is? That it is rich and storied and tradition and serious. It's also a very serious duty. I suppose the one that, I mean, it's particularly bothers, people go in there trying to get a reaction out of the Royal Guard while they stand there watch. That sucks. But the one that really gets on my nerves is some of them are on mounted horseback. And when you see the ones on mounted horseback, at the again, I understand. 95 to 99% of the persons are polite and respectful and just want to get their quick photo op. But you get that you know jackass 1% where they want to touch the horse, they want to pet the horse and give the horse kisses or whatever. Why do people want to do that? The horse, it's kind of like a canine unit, here in the States. In the United States, a canine, the dog, that sniffs for drugs and bombs, that is an officer. It's supposed to be treated like an officer. I have seen officers treat a canine like it's a pet, and that's disgraceful. It is not a pet. It is an officer. It should be treated with dignity and respect. And when you see an officer drooling all over it, it's wretched and pathetic and disgraceful. But the horse, the royal horse, is likewise a trained military, maybe not an officer, but certainly a piece of military equipment, and should be treated as such. Trying to pet the horse is so disrespectful. It's like trying to pet the soldier, for Christ's sake. Oops. This is going to be a platforming nightmare. So yeah, if you're ever in England, you want to see the I'm not sure what I'm going to do to get those eagles. You want to see, the Royal Guards. Do yourself a favor. Leave the horse alone. Oh, I did finally get an eagle. Thank goodness. Too bad I couldn't have gotten the eagle first. Okay, a raccoon, a couple blue jays, blackbird, eagle, toucan. It's all flying animals. What a shame. The ones on the ground are too easy. You have to get the flying ones. All right, let's find our toy. Swing and a miss. Oh, did he take my thing? Oh. I'm caught in a loop. Just back on the subject about the videos where the persons get, rebuked by the tourists. It just kind of, to bring this discussion, oh no. Yep, that's the problem with unlicensed games. Maybe I can tinker with it a little bit. Nope. Oh, we've lucked out. I just lightly tapped on the console. And I am playing this on the HDMI. Kevtris, by the way. Okay, so the eagle is somewhat following me because I have the bait or whatever this is. But anyway, just to bring it... Oh, and I can climb with this. I didn't know that. But to bring it full circle, the... It struck me that the internet... Oh, I missed. The algorithm. I'm sure there's several different ways you could divide it, but one probably very fair way. Oh. Gotcha. Oh, no I didn't. So, there are social media videos where persons get rebuked, instant karma, whatever you want to call it, for bad behavior, trying to prank people or embarrass. This eagle's giving me a hard time. Trying to make a fool of people, embarrass them. A lot of times it's basically just assault. It's just a prank, bro. And then it goes wrong. They get rebuked and embarrassed. Those are the videos that people like me see. But I'm not a fool. I do know that the algorithm will show you either that or there's a whole lot of videos that, probably on TikTok or Instagram that I'm not getting, that I don't get to see, which are videos where persons do it with impunity. Spray someone with shaving cream in the head challenge, like punch a total stranger in the groin challenge. So you get one or the other, you don't get both, and it's a shame. One kind of precludes the other. Still a ways to go. I really wish I could get that other eagle. He's driving me nuts. We'll get the raccoon. I think there was one that was in a fairly obvious location. Maybe that's the eagle I'm supposed to get. Maybe I was going after the wrong one all along. Oh, okay. I think I got the eagle finally. I guess since we got a few more minutes, there was something else I was going to go on a little bit. This is kind of a rant I've been putting on the back burner. Every time I'm like, all right, I can finally make a video where I talk about, where I, go on a little bit about this. For whatever reason, I end up not being able to. But, we'll go ahead and get to it now, since we still got some time to go with this game, and, we're just goofing off and having fun. Dustin Diamond. Anyone remember Dustin Diamond, better known as Samuel Screech Powers from Saved by the Bell? His most popular character. He passed away a couple years ago. Child actor. Not that much. As far as child actors go, he was talented. If you ever watched like the original, couple seasons of Saved by the Bell, the original season 1 was actually called Good Morning Miss Bliss. That was the one that had the other characters that were only around for the first. It was the one where Haley Mills was actually the star of the show. Whoops. Please don't wake up. Rats. But as a young actor, if you've watched the first 2 or 3 seasons of Saved by the Bell, Good Morning Miss Bliss, Saved by the Bell, Dustin Diamond, young, was charming, charismatic, and it was before they really goofed up the Screech character. He became progressively more ridiculous as the show went on. Whereas like originally he was smart, he did have social skills. He was, kind of a geeky kid, but he wasn't, the full-blown total dweeb that they kind of hammed him up to be, the producers or whatever wanted him to be in the later seasons. Now, it kind of shocked me. Something that popped up in my YouTube feed not that long ago was seeing that there was something like a... just missed. Something like a Saved by the Bell reunion. It's basically the show without Dustin Diamond. It is almost as though they waited for Dustin Diamond to pass away before they chose to go on with the show. To bring back Mario Lopez, Tiffany Amber Thies, and Elizabeth Berkley, if you can believe that, who, famously did striptease or excuse me, showgirls. It was Demi Moore that did striptease. Yeah, Elizabeth Berkley was in the show. They brought her Jesse Spano back. So now I'm not here to wax poetically about what a good guy Dustin Diamond was. He actually wasn't. Dustin Diamond was a horrible person. It makes quite a bit of sense that. Oh, I missed. That they would have waited for him to. They would. It does make a bit of sense that they would have waited for Dustin Diamond to pass away because, if you look up his bio on Wikipedia, he tried after Saved by the Bell. He tried absolutely everything to stay relevant, and he couldn't. He did end up losing his house. Had a silly little, help save Screech's house or whatever campaign way back in the early 2000s. But he did everything. He tried music, celebrity, reality TV shows, celebrity boxing, absolutely everything. Just could not crack it in Hollywood. But apparently he developed a really sleazy reputation for. I think this might be the last level. Whoops. Oh yeah, we gotta sit through this first. I think he wrote about this in his tell-all, but he would go to Disneyland and tell the women there, "Hey, I'm Screech from Saved by the Bell," and seduce young women, which all kinds of take them back to his hotel room. And he used to do this a lot. So very sleazy stuff from Dustin Diamond. What do I need? Food now? Oops. Alright, let's take a couple moo cows. That sound effect sounds like one from Iron Sword. Alright. This is going to be tough. Oops. I've got a cow and a bull. I need 7 of everything. This is gonna be tough. Bananas, coconuts, pears, grapes, hay, wheat. Okay, so the bulls and the cows will be the tough part. Everything else should be easy. But man, I need a ton of them. Okay, so I guess we'll just focus on bulls and cows. I didn't get credit for that one. There we go. By the way, just a quick aside. I originally wanted to do this game on Christmas several years ago, but Just didn't get around to it. So it was gonna be like a Christmas special for me to play through Noah's Ark, but whatever. We're finally getting through it now on a lazy late spring day. Those coconuts are gonna be a pain in the butt. I can already tell. Okay, admittedly this level a bit less fun just because 7 of everything is a bit much. Do I need to get the monkeys too? I don't think there's 7 monkeys on this level. I'm not getting credit for any more cows and bulls. I don't know why that is. Maybe it wants me to get other things. So the issue that... My issue with Dustin Diamond, aside from being a total sleazeball, maybe you could chalk it up to having a bad agent, but personally, obviously, every actor or actress wants to avoid being typecast. Let's see, why am I not getting any more credit for, what was that, wheat? Did I get credit for that wheat? But take Mario Lopez or Mark Paul Gosselaar. You know, they took chances in their career. Same with Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Or Tyson, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But they all took chances in their career. With Dustin Diamond, he didn't really take a chance with his career. Obviously, after Saved by the Bell, he did the short-lived Saved by the Bell the college years. And then there was the very briefly short-lived Saved by the Bell the new class, where he was basically still playing the same stupid Screech character. And at that point, you would have thought, you know, all the original actors were gone with the exception of Dennis Haskins. Obviously, Dennis Haskins wasn't going to, you know, the principal Belden character. He wasn't going to move on and do anything else. But Dustin Diamond, he was still a young man, still a young actor. He should have been, you know, thinking about what can I do that's not Saved by the Bell. You know, nobody else, you know, is doing this. No one else is doing this show. Saved by the Bell, the new class. Yeah, you know, maybe it's time I also thought about trying to do something else. But he, in my opinion, went for the easy gig and stuck with Peter Engel and did the Saved by the Bell, the new class, which didn't last long. It was only on for, I think, 1 season before the plug was pulled because it wasn't any good. Ooh, still a long way to go. I don't know if we're gonna finish this. You kind of feel like at this point you have to, but man, this level is the slog. About to lose a life too. Oops. Sometimes in thinking about like Dustin Diamond being on, the Saved by the Bell of the New class, it also kind of reminds me of, if anyone remembers David Yost, the blue Power Ranger Billy from the old Mighty Morphin Power Rangers show. It was the same thing with him. Like, he was on that show forever. He must have signed like a really long-term contract that they just, they were looking for someone younger and new and maybe less expensive or whatever. But, David Yost kept showing up to work and, I'm still under contract, aren't I? And I could just hear the producers like talking to him. All right, David, we wrapped up another season of Power Rangers. Have you thought about, trying to do another show? And David, no, I'm going to be back to work next year, next season. I'm still under contract. All right, David, here's the deal. You're not going to be a Power Ranger anymore. You're just going to hang out in the in that stupid little closet with the androgynous, ambiguously gay robot and the talking head, the floating, disembodied talking head. That's what we have for you in next season. Are you sure you don't want to think about doing a different show? Or no, I'm still under contract. I've heard there's a little bit more to the story than that, but it is amusing to think about those talks between David Yost and the producers. All right, we got all the cows, so 2 more bulls, and then we can just focus on all the fruit. Oh, the monkey gave us a banana. Nice. Looks like we almost have all the wheat. Is that a 6? Can't quite tell. 2 bowls of wheat. Not doing too hot on pears and grapes, but... Oh, let's get that power up. Alright. Good to know. That one was actually a game hint instead of a biblical quote. Oh. We want this one. And that one. Okay, if we can drop these off, it'll just be a fruit hunt. which is fine by me. Got them both. All right. Like, see what I mean? Like, admittedly, the control isn't perfect, but this isn't something that I'm really struggling with. You know, little snafu here and there. Okay, I think that's the one that already threw a banana at me. Okay, is that it for the... Okay, we got one more. Okay, the climbing mechanic is a little rough. It's a... This part is a little rough. The climbing mechanic on this part's a little rough. Alright, no problem. I see what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go up and around, right? There we go. That's all I needed to do. They did have... I did see a clip on YouTube of them mentioning that Screech, I guess, canon to the Saved by the Bell long overdue sequel. In canon, I guess he's dead. They didn't... I don't know that they ever acknowledged what happened to him or whatever, but... Okay, so now it's just grapes, pears, coconuts, bananas. Alright, let the great fruit hunt begin. How am I supposed to get these coconuts anyway? Am I supposed to catch him? Do I follow them until they stop rolling? Nope. Am I supposed to catch him? Nope. Nope. Oh, I'm supposed to get the ones that... Alright, okay. So no, I'm not supposed to try and get those ones that are rolling around. I'm supposed to get whatever it is at the Monkeys are thrown at me. Understood. Alright, so let's make our way all the way back. Let's get that power up in here. Alright, let's find some monkeys to give us some fruit. Come on, throw fruit. Alright, how do I get him to throw fruit? Man, I'm almost half tempted to Google it if I can't figure it out. Maybe if I just stand here for a minute. Alright, there's one. Alright, so this one threw a couple at me. Maybe I'll just... Maybe only a certain ones throw them at you. Is there more coconuts? Alright, let's see if we can get... Maybe that guy will throw 4 more at us. Throw me another. Whoops. Alright, we got 3 coconuts. Thank you. Okay, so there's only a couple, I think, that throw. Alright, 1 more coconut. And then it's just bananas, pears. Let's go find our friend over here. Alright, I think that's the last coconut. I remember the one on top threw something too. Couldn't remember if it was bananas or grapes. This guy. Nope, nothing from you. This guy. Nope. And we're probably going to lose a life. Okay, so this is the one that throws us the bananas. Oh, and pears. And grapes. Alright. Oops. Let's get one more. Alright, so I guess that guy's our new best friend. He's gonna throw us bananas, pears, and grapes. Which is all we need, bananas, pears, and grapes. Okay, so we're basically in the home stretch. We're gonna wrap up. Bible games. I didn't play the other two games, Dave and Goliath and the other one, Baby Moses. Maybe I'll come around to it and play it again in the future. Hopefully I will. But Noah's Ark is, in my opinion, well, it's certainly the longest. It's also the most chill. It's the one you can just pop in and play and goof off with. You don't need to, complete it. It's not difficult. You just have to be willing to put up with a few frustrating controls, which really aren't even that bad. And all in all, what do I want to say about this game? For an unlicensed game that was made very cheaply by very few, it's a success. It's mildly entertaining. It's controllable. It looks fine. Sounds fine. It's competent. Is it perfect? No. But considering the limitations of Wisdom Tree, I'd say, and it sold a ton. So considering the limitations, it's much more than a success. Alright, so we just need grapes and pears. No more bananas. Now we have to be a little picky. Alright, I think we only need 2 pairs. Okay, so I will close with this. Just a quick heads up. So I did the Mystic Half Marathon in Mystic, Connecticut. Won't hold you in suspense. Yeah, I just need grapes now. 6 grapes. Won't hold you in suspense. Was not my finest. 27th out of 850, which is good. Let's see, is it a different monkey that's going to throw us grapes? Is this one just bananas and pears? Yeah, it must be a different monkey that throws us grapes. But my time was 1:32:01, which I am pretty disappointed in. I was shooting for a sub 90, but I missed it because I hung with the 1:30 pacer for the first 7 miles, but then miles 6 through 10 were like, it was a 500-foot elevation climb. It was pretty brutal. But moreover, what really disappointed me was that it wasn't that scenic. You know, for years I've been hearing, oh, Mystic is, you know, one of the most scenic. Okay, this is just coconuts, right? Alright, so need to find the monkey that throws me grapes. I do believe he's somewhere on the arc. It wasn't scenic, though. It was, the first 2 miles. So you start at Old Mystic Village, which is nice. In the first 2 miles, you go through Mystic Seaport. You know, I've been hearing for years that this was one of the most scenic half marathons in the state. And after about 2.5, 3 miles, they immediately take you into the back roads, and you're just running back roads. You get a tour of the Mystic Reservoir. You know, there's no spectators out there either because they all want to be down at Mystic Village and Mystic Seaport. You know, they don't want to. Okay, he's not going to throw me nothing. Yeah, they don't want to be down on those boring back roads, so it's actually a pretty lifeless marathon. I was extremely disappointed. You know, on the one hand, I kind of get it because... Alright, are you going to throw me grapes? No. Coconuts. Like, on the one hand, I get it. Like, you know, Mystic is a small town, and they don't want to, like, absolutely clutter it up with traffic. But, you know, if you're running the race, you're paying $100. And, you know, if you're paying $100 to run the race, you want... You know, $100 times 850 people. You want a nice scenic route, and instead you're getting a tour of the Mystic Reservoir. Come on, can't we do a little bit better than that? This guy doesn't want to throw me grapes. Where's the one that throws grapes? Come back. Stop climbing away. Well, I've already turned in one grape, so I know I've come across the monkey that throws grapes. Oh no, I finally lost a life, so we get to see one death animation. Alright, continue. Oh no, I have to get them all over again? Okay. I apologize. For whatever reason, I couldn't figure out where the grapes were, so we're gonna stop right there. That's enough. I give up. Alright, and thanks for checking it out. Sorry we couldn't finish it. Another time, perhaps. In the meantime, thanks for swinging by.